Hey guys, how are you? I'm excited to finally be back and be telling you guys a story. Unfortunately, not in the best ways, but here we go. Today I'm going to be telling the story of Cherish Perrywinkle. Warning, viewer discretion is advised. June 21st, 2013, Cherish Perrywinkle, her mother, and her two sisters went to a neighborhood Dollar General store. There, they encountered Donald James Smith, a convicted predator who had been listed on the Public Offenders Registry since 1993. He had been released from prison on child abuse charge on just 21 days before that fateful day. Smith saw that Rain Perrywinkle was having difficulty paying for her children's clothes, and in response, he offered to buy them clothes at a nearby Walmart using a gift card that he and his wife never used. He assured Rain Perrywinkle that his wife would meet him at the store. Rain Perrywinkle later testified that she initially was skeptical of Smith's proposition, but ultimately relented because he said he had a wife and her children were in desperate need of clothes and she couldn't afford it. By 10 p.m., Smith's wife, who didn't exist, still didn't arrive, and Rain Perrywinkle's children were hungry for dinner. Smith offered to buy them a meal at the McDonald's next door while Perrywinkle waited and took Cherish with him. This was the last time anyone would see Cherish alive.
Good morning, Jen. This video is very upsetting to say the least. The surveillance video reveals a period of several hours. According to prosecutors, Donald Smith approached Rain Perrywinkle and her daughters, offering to buy them clothing, since it appeared the family had been struggling. In the 911 call, Rain told the dispatcher Smith basically conned her into trusting him. Moments later, they all got into Smith's van. Later on, Cherish was gone. Surveillance video from inside a Northside Dollar General paints the picture of a tragedy beginning to unfold. From the moment 8-year-old Cherish Perrywinkle and her family came into contact with convicted sex offender and now accused killer Donald Smith. Cherish's mother, Rain, made this call to 911 from Walmart once she realized her daughter and Smith were gone.
I met him in today at Dollar General. He saw that I was struggling to buy them some clothes. He drove us here to buy us some clothes, and the only reason I went with him because she said his wife was going to be here.
Surveillance video from the Dollar General shows Smith talking with the family. From there, his van is seen driving away with Rain, Cherish, and her two younger sisters inside. A short time later, they were all seen shopping together inside the Walmart on Lem Turner Road.
I had a strange feeling about him when I first met him, and he took her to the dressing room twice, and I was hoping that she would be okay, and I was looking at the shoes, and I didn't want him to think that I was overly protective.
Prosecutors say Smith offered to buy them all food at a McDonald's at the front of the store. Instead, they say he walked out with the little girl. And surveillance video shows his van leaving the parking lot, driving right past store security. Hours later, an Amber Alert was issued for Cherish, along with a description of Donald Smith and his white van.
Around 11 p.m., Rain Perrywinkle realized that neither Donald James Smith nor Cherish Perrywinkle had returned. She had borrowed a Walmart's cell phone and called the police to report the kidnapping, where you will hear part of that 911 call. Also, to add to that, she said, "I'm hoping that he's not raping her right now. We've been here probably 2 hours and she didn't show up. I've had this cart full of clothes and he said he was going to pay for it. I had a bad feeling. I feel like pinching myself because this was too good to be true. I got to the checkout and he's not here. My girls needed clothes so bad. That's why I let him do it." 6 hours after Rain Perrywinkle made the harrowing 911 call, police put on an Amber Alert for Cherish Perrywinkle. The Amber Alert reached Smith's roommate, a man who only identified as Charlie, who called the police to provide them with any information that might help find him, and hopefully the little girl too. Around 9 a.m. the next day, an officer noticed Smith's van off Interstate 95. Officers were able to apprehend Smith near Interstate 10, where he was promptly arrested. At the same time, a tipster called 911 to report spotting Smith's van near a neighborhood Highland Baptist church. And it was in the church where police made the traumatizing discovery. The mutilated body was covered with contusions and ant bites, a hemorrhaging, and busted blood vessels around her neck where she had been strangled to death. An autopsy showed that she had been raped prior to her murder, suffered with blunt force trauma to the back of her head, and was strangled with what appeared to be a t-shirt. With such force, she began bleeding from her eyes, gums, and nose. What would prove to be one of the most high-profile cases in greater Jacksonville area in recent memory, Smith was ultimately charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and rape of Cherish Perrywinkle. The trial wouldn't take place until 2018. The doctor who had performed the autopsy described how Cherish's anatomy had been distorted by the force in which Smith had raped her. He added that it would have taken the 8-year-old girl 5 minutes to die while being strangled. Cherish did not die quickly. In fact, hers was a brutal and tortured death. Second day into trial, secret jailhouse recordings of Smith emerged. In the recording, Smith can be heard talking to inmates about a group of 12 to 13-year-old girls that visited the jail. "That's right up my alley, right there. That's my target area," he said. "I like to run into her at a Walmart." He then added that Cherish had a butt on her. She had a lot for a white girl. Further recordings revealed how Smith intended to use the insanity defense at his trial. In a phone conversation with his mother, Smith can be heard asking her for the copy of the DSM-IV, a guide to mental disorders, so that he could practice acting mentally ill in court. He added that he was to death rather than life in prison because he was afraid his fellow inmates were going to kill him. Smith got what he wanted, though. It only took the jury 15 minutes to find Smith guilty, but in Florida, all cases involving first-degree murder are given an appeal. As such, Smith reappeared in court in 2020, fully planning to fight his death sentence. As of January 2022, Florida State of Appeal denied his request. I also wanted to add, for those who probably will ask me about the dad was in a custody battle back with the mother in 2010. Unfortunately, the custody did go to Rain Perrywinkle. And according to Robert Wood, who was the custody evaluator in the case, he feared that Cherish Perrywinkle's safety in the mother's custody and voiced his objections in court. He argued that Rain Perrywinkle created an unstable environment for her children while living with her boyfriend and father. Alrighty guys, that was a very unfortunate ending for Cherish. May she rest in peace. But let me know what you guys think, because I have a few thoughts on it. I know as a mother myself, I wouldn't dare to leave my kids in the hands of anybody. I don't care how poor I am. My kids are my kids, and knowing the amount of sickos that are out there, and this was an old man, and how she just let this old man walk out with her daughter more than a few times to take her to the fitting room, like, I try to stay very unopinionated in my stories, but this is just one that it kind of makes you want to say something. But yeah guys, let me know what you guys think. I'm not gonna rant too much, but I love you guys. Remember to make good decisions, to take care, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.